What's up, Team Running Lab? It's your captain, Keith McCaffrey here for week 2 of strength training for our half marathon and marathon training group. Hope y'all have had a really good first week. You might be feeling sore, you might be feeling a little bit tired. That's great. You're nowhere near where you're going to be at the end of this program, so let the aches, let the pains just be a sign that we are working hard and we're doing the right thing. Today we're going to start off with a quick warm-up, making sure that we get our bodies moving before we get into the weight-bearing portion of this. So we're going to do some quick dynamic movements. We're going to start by getting our quads ready. So just a simple quad stretch. We're only going to hold it for about 2 seconds each side. We're going to switch back and forth about 5 times on each leg. Coming right off of the Peloton bike today, so already a little tired, a little sore. I went roller skiing yesterday. I don't know if I'm the only one that is really hating this no snow thing. I probably am, but when it's winter, I like to ski, so I had to bust out the roller skis yesterday. So, all right, next we're gonna get our hamstrings ready. So we're just gonna stick our heel down in front of us and float through, come back up to standing. We're going to do that 5 times each side as well. You should feel that stretch along the back of your leg up into your hip. This one always feels so good for us runners who always tighten the hamstrings. All right, next we're going to do a couple hip openers. So we're just going to stand with a wide stance. We're going to get down. And we're just going to shift from side to side, holding just 2 seconds each side. If you have to come up and put your hands on your thighs, that's okay too. The deeper you can go, the more you're going to feel that stretch though. Excellent. Walking your feet back together. We're going to do some hurdle steps, another hip opener here. Just going to do 5 times each side, front and back. And then same thing on the other side. Might feel some snapping, crackling, popping in that hip. That's why we got to get that range of motion going before we put too much work on it. All right, then just getting into our upper body, we're just going to roll the shoulders back 5 times. And then switch it and roll them forward 5 times. And then extend those arms out. And make big circles 5 times. Going back first. And then coming forward. And we're going to open our chest and our back up. We're just going to swing our arms back and forth. Then to get our torso into it, we're going to drop our arms and we're just going to spin or twist side to side a few times. Let those arms just dangle and hang. All right, just like last week, if you're a beginner or level 1, we're going to do 3 sets of 10 reps of each of these rounds. If you're kind of intermediate, you've done this before, but are still getting stronger, we're going to do 4 sets of 15 reps each round. And if you're advanced, you're going to do 5 sets of 20 reps each round. So that's if you're a beast, go ahead. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to start with legs like we always do. Leg round is going to go first. Again, you can do this as a circuit all the way through, legs, upper body, core, repeat. I like to do legs, 3 rounds, move on to upper body, 3 rounds, then core, 3 rounds, and we'll cool down after that. I'm just going to demonstrate 1 round of 10 reps of each exercise, and you guys can pause the video as you need to. You can move through at your own pace. I did have a request that some of the exercises last week were already a little bit hard, so I'm going to show you a modification for each exercise as we go through so that everybody can benefit from this. I love the feedback, guys, so keep posting on Facebook, in the Team Running Lab group, what you like, what you don't like. If you need more, let me know. So we're going to start today with forward lunges. So just a simple lunge forward. You can either put your hands at your hips, make sure your feet are about hip width, just a little bit wider than hip width apart, and we're going to step forward with the right leg first. We're going to drop that knee till it's about 90 degrees, almost touching the ground, if I don't fall over, and then back up to standing, and we're going to do 5 times each side to equal 10. 2. You can also move the arms freely, just like you would when you're running, opposite arm, opposite leg. All right, and that's 5. So for modification on the forward lunges, all we would do is just step out. Don't worry about bringing that back knee down. Go ahead and step out and come back. Leave that back leg straight. Just make sure you're bearing a little weight onto that front leg and getting that step back, feeling that glute engage, feeling a little bit in the quads, feeling those hip flexors kind of stretch out as you leave that leg straight behind you. Okay, that's exercise 1. Next, we're going to do side-to-side lunges. So we're going to start just in a nice tight formation here. I'm going to step actually back off the mat because the mat's not going to be wide enough. Stepping out to one side, dropping our weight down into that heel, and then back up, dropping out to the other side. We're going to do 5 times each side. When we do these single leg exercises, we start to notice that one side of our body might be stronger than the other, and that goes for almost all of us. I know my left side really needs some work to catch up to the right side, but this is all good for it, these single leg exercises. So for those of you that need a modification on this one, easy enough. We just don't step out as far, just bear that weight into the heel. Or if this is even too much, say we've got a cranky knee or a cranky hip or something like that, doing just toe taps can work too. So stepping out to one side with the toes, coming back in, bearing that weight on the foot we're not tapping with, and just tapping that toe out. So those are our modifications for that. All right, moving into the next one, it's going to be a curtsy lunge. So kind of the opposite of that side-to-side lunge. We're actually going to bring the leg behind us. So we start in a wider stance, bring the leg behind us, and then drop down. Make sure you're keeping your upper body straight and that core engaged to protect the knees and everything. This is going to help us stay stable through the glute medius. This is one of my favorite exercises because it really helps keep my knees healthy. You get a little twisting, a little movement in the knees without putting too much torque on them. You really feel it through the side of that hip. All right, and to modify that one, I'm just going to have you start with a wide stance, bring the feet together, just kind of squat with your feet in close. So doing that on each side is going to bring those glutes into activation. On the outside, you can even kind of work on squeezing your knees together as you do it and feeling just the side of the hips engage a little bit more than you would in a wide stance squat. All right, and then single leg deadlift. So This is an important one for runners. It's one that I struggle with because of my left side being a little weaker than my right. So I always start on my left side first. Just gonna do 5 sets per side. Get balance on that one foot. And drop down and bring it back up. If you can do this without touching your foot down, that's great for the balance, great for our ankle strength. Make sure you're engaging the glutes as we come back up. So really squeezing it at the top. All right, and then switching to the right side. Gladly, because I have much better balance on this side. Can get down a little further. We're feeling this in the glutes and the hamstrings. Little stretch, a little power, all at the same time. All right, now 2 modifications for this one to make it a little bit easier, more accessible. Remember, don't be overdoing it. We really want to make sure we're getting through our full range of motion on that. So first modification is going to be to leave that back foot down, and we're just going to place our weight into our front hip. Come back up if you need to move that foot in a little bit to get over top of your knee. That is fine. I usually have to go to this modification in later sets to make sure I'm getting through it while keeping my form good. So we'll switch to the right side. You're going to keep that foot down for balance to make sure that you are able to really drop down into that posture, into that forward bend here. All right, and then another option, just hold on to a chair while you do it, and keep that arm out. Balance yourself so that you can go through the full range of motion. And guys, if you can only get down to here, that's fine. Just bring it back up and make sure you're squeezing it at the top. That's going to be our single leg deadlift. Really making sure we're getting those glutes and hamstrings activated really strong. They're going to be muscles that make us efficient while we run and keep us healthy. All right. So moving into upper body, we're going to start with an exercise called up and down plank. So this is going to recruit our chest, our shoulders, our back, our triceps, even our core here. Because we're going to get up into a top of a push-up position or a top or a high plank. We're going to drop down to the elbows here one at a time. So you go down with the left, down with the right, up with the left, up with the right. And then you're going to switch it down with the right, down with the left, up with the right, up with the left. And just go through at a nice smooth pace. We're not slamming down to the ground. We're keeping our strength. We're keeping our tension through our core. Alright, there's 10. And to modify this one, just like you would modify a normal push-up by going to your knees, you're going to stay on your knees and you're just going to drop the elbows. So making sure we're going through that motion, make sure you're keeping your core engaged by sucking that belly button in toward the spine. And we're just putting less weight onto our forearms, onto our elbows here, so that we can still get a little bit of a workout without putting undue stress on the body. All right, prone reverse flies is next. So we're gonna get down on our stomachs. We're gonna bring the chest up off the floor a little bit. Arms out to the side, palms facing forward. And we're just going to bring our shoulder blades together. We wanna feel that pinch right at the top of our back here. So 10 of these. All right. Now it can be hard to keep our bodies up in this position. So if you need to, modify it by just coming to your knees or even standing up, starting out in front, making sure we're pinching the shoulder blades at the back, and do that 10 times. That will be the easiest modification for that. All right, and then shoulder tap push-ups is next. So we're gonna work in that push-up position again, and we're gonna add a little challenge in between each push-up. So we're gonna start in that top of the push-up, come down, come up, and then shoulder tap left, shoulder tap right, shoulder tap left, and then switch it again. Right, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. Keep going till you get 10. All right, to modify this, kind of have your own option here. You can just do normal push-ups without the shoulder tap, so you feel unstable here. It's okay to just do the push-ups until you can get to that point where the shoulder tap is less of a challenge. You can stay in the top of a push-up, just do the shoulder taps. Try to get 10 each side. Or, again, you can come down to your knees and go through the full motion with less weight bearing. So you can do that as well. All right. Awesome. And then swimmers, we're going to get back onto our stomach again. This is going to be a back, shoulder, glute, hip exercise all in one. So we're going to come onto our stomachs, we're going to lift our legs, lift our arms, and we're going to just do opposite arm, opposite leg. I think I started that wrong. I was going same leg, same arm. There we go, that feels better. Trying to do 10 times each side. Apparently I'm not a swimmer if I swim like that. All right, and modification for that. We can do arms and legs separately. So getting into that lifted position. And then come on down, lift the legs. And we can do them separately like that. If it feels like there's too much tension in your back, or it's just hard to keep that tension through those 10 reps, I recommend doing the arms and the legs separately. All right, that's our whole upper body section. Hope you guys are feeling good so far. Getting into our core section, we're going to start with an exercise called bird dogs. So really good stabilizing exercise here for the core. The way we're going to do it, we're going to start opposite arm, opposite leg. We're going to bring those in to kind of do a crunch. Try to keep that core solid. Try to keep your alignment pretty straight. Then we're going to go back out and down, and that's going to be 1. Do it on the other side. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 8, 9, and 10. All right, to modify that, we're going to cut the crunch out. We're just going to do an extension of opposite arm, opposite legs. Come back down. Keep that core nice and solid throughout. And really stretch out that right leg and that left arm, and then that right arm and that left leg. So that's going to be our modification. Or if that even feels tough, sometimes we feel really unstable in this arms and knees position or hands and knees. So you can do whatever comes more naturally. You can put the leg out first, then the arm out, try to hold it for a couple seconds, come back down, leg out. Arm out, hold it for a couple seconds, or you can do, arm out first, leg out. Wherever you feel balanced, whatever can get you into this position here, where we are really holding our core solid, so that we can stay on just the one arm and the one leg. All right, moving into bicycle crunches. So on your backs, I like to start with my legs extended, but you can keep them bent to start. Bring the hands behind the ears. We don't want to be putting tension on our neck, so just leave them right behind the ears. We're going to bring in opposite elbow to opposite knee, come down, and back over to the opposite side, opposite elbow, opposite knee. And we're going to do 10 times each side. 3, all right, you should feel that in both the obliques and the transverse. If it's hard to keep your core tight and stable while you're lying down, feel free to do those same things standing up. So bicycle crunches standing up. These are actually called steam engines. Moving your arms and your legs like pistons in a steam engine. Just up and down. If this is easier for you, this is a great exercise. It's actually really nice because we do it in a standing position. We run in a standing position, hopefully. So this can be actually really beneficial for runners. All right, awesome. Next is straight leg lifts. So very simple. Legs extended, arms by your side. You're gonna bring those heels just a couple inches off the ground. We're gonna move them to about 2 or 3 feet off the ground, and then back down, keeping our core solid throughout. Excellent. If that's very difficult, go back to that reverse crunch that we did last week. So keep the knees bent and just come on in. Keep the core solid, keep that lower back pressed against the mat. I don't know if you guys can hear it. If you don't keep your back flat, your mat will make a little farting noise, and it can be embarrassing. I've got to work on keeping my back flat there, apparently. All right, and we're going to end it with side planks. So level 1, you're just doing 15 seconds per side, switching in the middle. Level 2, you're doing 30 seconds per side. Level 3, you're doing 45 seconds per side. So I'm just going to do 15 seconds per side. Oh, wait. Yep, no, I did it. 15 seconds per side to show. And then I'll do the modifications, and then we'll cool down, and that'll be the end of the workout. So we're almost done, if this is your third set, at least. So we're going to come up on the shoulder, we're going to lay on our sides, we're going to make sure our core is straight this way. We're going to really engage this oblique that's closest to the ground. And we're going to lift our body up. I like to lift my arm in the air to try to keep my core centered and stable. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and switch sides. Again, make sure you're in alignment. And then when it's time to come up, really engage that oblique on the side closest to the ground. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and bring it down. All right. Very quick, I'll show you 2 modifications for that. So kind of an intermediate modification. If it's hard for you to keep your legs stacked and get those obliques up, we can keep one leg out in front of us on the ground to stabilize. Come on up. Make sure you're still engaging that oblique closest to the ground. So that's going to be what the whole point of this workout is getting those obliques strong. That's going to help us with our rotational strength. It's going to help us keep our hips healthy, all that kind of stuff. This actually feels good because it's kind of a stretch through that medial side of the thigh as well. All right, and then bring that down. And if that's even a little bit iffy for you, you can go ahead and just tuck the knees or the feet behind the knees and just do a side plank from that bottom knee. All right. I'm going to show you on the other side too, just to keep things even. And 15. It's going to be 10 seconds here. So showing you once again from the knees, you can come on up and just make sure you are engaging those obliques. All right, excellent. So if that's at least your 3rd set through, you might be done. You might want to go back through and do some more if you aren't feeling worn out yet. I'm just going to lead us through a quick little cool down here. So, dynamic warm up. We're going to stretch during the cool down, so we're going to slow it down. Just going to do 15 seconds each side. So I'm going to start from the foot up, and we're going to stretch out the body a little bit. So I'm going to start with calves and Achilles here, just a nice calf stretch. You can do this standing and pushing against the wall just as easily as I'm doing it here. Excellent. Switch sides and do it again on the right side. Hamstring next. So kind of working our way up the leg. We're going to do just a runner stretch. So being on that right knee, extending that left leg out in front of you. Keep it bent if you have to. We really only want to feel the stretch right in that hamstring. If you can't straighten out that left leg, keep a little bend in the knee and just kind of pull that hip crease back on that left side. Excellent. Kind of roll forward, come back, stay on that left knee, extend the right leg out in front. And same thing, get to a position that's comfortable, but you feel that stretch in the hamstring. Pull that right hip crease back that time, so kind of dig your heel into the ground a little bit. Awesome. Roll forward onto that foot to kind of come back. I'm going to go into just a simple quad stretch. You can do this standing up, or you can stay on your side and do it lying down or on your stomach even. Start with the left side. Try to bring that knee close to the other one. Keep your hips stable. Pull that foot in toward the glute while you kind of kick back into your hand a little bit, engaging that quad as it stretches. Excellent. Make sure you're not slinging out of these too fast. You want to go nice and slow. Right side. Excellent. Bring that down. We're going to go into just a simple butterfly stretch here for the groin, for the inside part of our hamstrings and our adductors, the inside of our thighs. Sit up nice and straight and then try to bend forward into it a little bit. Alright, and then come onto your backs. You're going to cross that left leg over the right into a figure four. Instead of pulling in like we normally would, I'm just going to have you drop them over to the right side and do a little nice twist so we get kind of the piriformis, the glutes, the lower back all at the same time. Alright, 15 seconds on the left, 15 seconds on the right. Now while you're doing these stretches, if you notice that one feels really tighter, that one stretch just felt like it was really good, like you needed that really bad, go back and revisit it and go through again and stay in that stretch for a little bit longer until you feel like a little bit of that muscle tension is letting go. Alright, very good. Come on up, we're just going to do arm across, left arm first. You should feel that pulling through the shoulder blade, into the shoulder, into the deltoid. If you want to lean your head to the right, you'll open that left side of the neck up to a stretch a little bit. And then switch sides. Same thing, feel that open in the shoulder blade. Drop your head to the left side, feel that right side of your neck open up a little bit. Alright, and then up overhead, you're going to pull that elbow down, hand kind of in your shoulder blades here. Push that elbow back up into the hand, feel that really good tricep stretch. Alright, excellent. And then interlace the fingers behind you, look up, and try to pull those arms a little bit away from the small of your back. Alright, and then unclasp slowly. And there you go. That's it for Strength Week 2. Hopefully that's beneficial. Hopefully this workout feels really good. Hopefully it feels better than the first week. We can start hitting our groove here within the next couple weeks, and you're going to start feeling stronger. It takes about 4 weeks, I would say, to really start feeling the benefit of these strength workouts. But once you do, and things become easier, your runs become easier, training's going to be so much more fun, and I'm looking forward to that for you. And I will see you guys at the next group run, which is actually tonight, because this is Tuesday. I got to get this video out ahead of time. So I'll see you tonight, real soon. All right? Have a good day, guys.